Hal Kempfer, retired Marine intelligence officer. It's always so good to see you. Thanks so much for making the time.
Thank you, Natasha.
Let's start with Israel's counterattack against Iran. In your eyes, was this the best possible course of action by Israel?
Natasha, it may have been. Obviously the administration was saying, maybe since there was a successful defense against the Iranian onslaught of missiles, cruise missiles, and of course drones, that maybe they should just let it go. But frankly, the internal politics within Israel and the reality of the Middle East was that Israel had to respond, but they didn't respond with overwhelming kinetic force. They responded a very nuanced response, if I may use that. There were drones reported. Some of them were reportedly quadcopters, which meant they were launched within Iran, which shows a covert capability that Israel has, showing a vulnerability. There was even a report that a missile hit an S-300 air defense site in Iran, and the missile could not be detected by their air defense radar. I don't know if I want to use the term stealth missile, but that technically would be a correct description of it. This was really to show the Iranians what the Israelis can do, and then not create a huge amount of destruction where it might escalate the situation.
Yeah, certainly. If Israel has had the capability in the past to take out Iran's nuclear capabilities, why has it not done so? Is it because it would just be such an enormous escalation?
Well, enormous escalation, but also it's a difficult target set. A lot of that stuff is buried deep underground. Israel has some tremendous capabilities, but I don't know if they have enough capability to really take out the entire nuclear facilities complex, that's scattered throughout Iran and a variety of secured sites. So, having a capability and then having the capacity to do it are two different things. So there's a capacity issue. So that's probably why they didn't want to do it. Along with it, of course, it would be a massive escalation. And frankly, to take out those sites and be sure of it, they'd probably have to put boots on the ground, whether that's a raid, special operations forces, something, and that entails a tremendous degree of operational risk.
Does this end here, or do you think Iran will be striking back?
Well, for the time being, I think that it may, I don't know if I want to say end, it's probably not a great term to use in terms of Middle East conflicts, but it may pause for an extended period of time. And I think Iran may even put some pressure on its proxies to maybe restrain themselves a little bit because of whatever happened. Interestingly, is Iran in its public statements is pretty much almost denying that anything happened. They're pretty much saying it was our air defense weapons. That's what you heard. They're almost like saying, hey, there's nothing to see here, move along, and telling the Iranian people it wasn't a big deal. I think within the hierarchy of the theocracy and certainly the IRGC, they are very unnerved by what they just saw.
Now, amid all of this, you are not taking your eyes off of ISIS. Tell me why.
Well, what happened in Iraq has got my attention. I don't know what hit that Popular Mobilization Force ammo dump. It went up. It could have been Murphy's Law. It could have been an accident. Don't smoke next to the fuel farm or something. There could have been a lot of reasons why that happened. But Iraq came out and said, look, they didn't see anything coming in. They didn't see any aircraft, didn't see any drones, didn't see any missiles. Israel came out, and of course, Israel tends not to say when they've done things like that. They came right out and said, no, that wasn't us. The U.S. Central Command came out and said it had nothing to do with us. And the question is, who did it? Now, could it have been a clandestine operation launched by the Israelis? Possibly. Then the question is, why did they do it? Why did they do it now? That gets into a whole bunch of postulation. But another possibility is ISIS. They could have gone in there, they could have hit it, and it happened right after Moscow, not too long after the Soleimani memorial service attack. And even though those are different parts of ISIS spread over large areas, there's a possibility of ISIS doing this. And I'm looking at the threat of ISIS. They seem to be resurgent. There's a lot of people who adhere to them who will do terrorist things and claim the affiliation with ISIS. And I really want to know what happened in Iraq. I'm kind of curious as to why that huge ammo dump went up. Who hit it, if it was hit, or if it was some other reason.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.